Now we're in Autopia, about a mile of superhighway adventure with all the kids lined up in little gasoline-driven automobiles that go whistling around the various freeway and highway convolutions at 11 miles an hour. These are gasoline-driven, and the kids can drive to their heart's content, with their parents or without their parents. Where are you going? Oh, stay right there. I didn't know where you... I thought I was going to be run over here for a second. Now, the entire Autopia goes by a lake and by canals. There's scenic features, and look who's riding in the various cars. Coming down the road here is my old friend Don DeFore, Ozzie and Harriet's next-door neighbor. Come on right by. Hello, Don. Good to see you. Keep on going. Here's Jeannie Crane. Hello, Jean. Frank Sinatra. Hello, Franco. Who's driving? Frankie Jr.?
My son, yeah.
Don't hit this man. Oh. Look who hit who. Sammy Davis, Jr. Hello, Sammy. And where's Gail? Gail Storm should be coming by here in just a second with her kiddies. She's here with Peter and Paul, and they're all skimming around up there on the freeway. There's Mrs. DeFore. Now, these all have aluminum bumpers completely around them, as you might see over here, so they can't hurt anybody. And they have governors on them. They only run 11 miles an hour. And, of course, the women drivers are given a little special space, just as they are on the highways. Well, we got a lot more celebrities coming up. Come up here, Gail. I want you to see one of the prettiest gals in the world, Miss Gail Storm and her little boy. We've been waiting for you, honey. How was the ride?
Well, I tell you, that's the greatest ride I ever had.
Thank you. Well, we ought to go down to the boat landing. Ronnie Reagan, are you there? Take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Art. And here on the Lake of Tomorrowland, we have boats made out of fiberglass, and they're as strong and safe as anything afloat. And I have two customers right here, Bonita Granville and Jack Rather.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Just fine. And say, I haven't seen you since we left the bus early this morning here.
Well, we had a nice ride out, and we've had a big day here.
Oh, boy. Can you see it all in one day?
Oh, it's impossible. It's a fabulous place.
And that gets me around to the other point. You're sort of interested in a hotel arrangement around here, aren't you?
Yes, we're building the Disneyland Hotel, which is right at the exit to Disneyland Park.
And you and Nancy have got to bring the kids and come out and stay with us.
When are you going to open?
We're opening part of it in September and the rest of it in January, Ronnie.
We shall be there in September.
Fine.
And now, in the meantime, why don't you have a boat ride? You know, this is a good chance to tell the people that's a $10 million hotel with swimming pool and everything, then you can take 2 or 3 days.
Good.
Okay, have a boat ride.
Ronnie,
You bet.
We'll come back to Tomorrowland in just a moment to take you for a thrilling rocket ship ride into space.
Conquest of space, exploring the future and the unknown up in the universe is probably the last big challenging problem left to man, Danny.
It just about is. As a matter of fact, I'm absolutely flabbergasted at this fantastic place of amusement that Walt Disney and Company have put up.
And I would say that this is one of the most exciting. Captain Barton, come over here. This is Danny Thomas. Captain Barton. He's in charge of our 2 rocket ships. What are their names?
Diana and Luna.
Oh, after the moons.
Right, yeah.
Now, are you blasting off very shortly?
Just a few seconds, I'd say.
Danny doesn't want to go. He's a little skeptical.
You mean that thing really goes up?
You don't want to leave the Earth, Danny?
No, I certainly do not.
I think you've been out of this world for years, kid. Captain, you go over and get aboard the ship, and we'll contact you in a minute.
All right, fine.
All right?
Does it really go up?
Yeah, you see, there are 2 ships. They each accommodate about 103 people.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, you over there, Captain Barton? Yeah. Ready to blast off? All right. Well, take it away, and let's take a little look at what it looks like.
Right. Just a minute. Have a look at that banner on one side there.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to give you some idea about the rocket ship itself and explain some of the more interesting highlights of our operation here. Now, this will give you a pretty good idea of the rocket ship in which you will soon be traveling to the moon. Now, here's the captain's cockpit, and here are the crew's quarters. And this is the passenger section. In this section are 2 television screens, one above and another one below. So when the flight gets underway, you'll be able to see, by watching the upper screen, what's ahead of you, and by watching the lower screen, you can see what you've left behind. Now, this chart shows the flight path of the rocket ship Star of Polaris. which will be taking off shortly for the moon. Now, this is a typical flight path and approximates the one of your own trip.
Clear field, preparatory to takeoff. Clear field, preparatory to takeoff.
Attention blast-off crew. Attention blast-off crew. Report to Space Dock 3. Attention fire control crew. Attention fire control crew. Report to Space Dock 1. All field personnel take blast-off stations. All field personnel take blast-off stations.
Field control to tower. Field has been cleared for takeoff.
Check. Tower to Captain, rocket ship TWA, Star of Polaris. You've been cleared for takeoff, Captain. Stand by.
Captain, Star of Polaris. All ready.
Starting countdown. 15 seconds. X14, X13, X12, X11, X10, X9, X8, X7, X6, X5, X4, X3, X2, X1. Fire!
Again. This is Captain Barton again from Disneyland Operations. Switching you back to the Rocket Polaris for more highlights of this space trip.
Per second. During the time I've been speaking, we've risen another 10,000 feet. We are assuming our flight course, which will take us over the Arctic Circle. You'll find most of the polar cap will be in shadow or night side. In a few moments, we'll be 1,075 miles high and pass the orbit of the space station, Terra.
Disneyland Spaceport, calling Terra Space Station. Come in.
Disneyland, this is Terra. Go ahead.
Roger, Terra. You have Polaris contact?
Terra to Disneyland Spaceport. Roger, have contacted rocket ship Star of Polaris. There it is.
Because of our diversion plan,
An enchanting kingdom of them all after a word from your announcer and the commercial.
20 miles per hour, she completes a full circle every 2 hours in her flight around the Earth.